everyone! Today I'm going to teach you how to make this little white duck. I got a lot of requests from you guys to make the same duck tutorial, however in acrylic yarn instead of the chunky yarn. So here it is. It's very tiny and here is all the detail in 360. In this tutorial, here are the materials that you will need. I'm going to use a medium-sized yarn in 4 different colors. These are also acrylic yarn. You'll need most of the white color yarn and a little bit of these 3 colors, the gold, dark brown, and pink. A little bit of stuffing. A couple of pins. These are gonna be helpful when we try to do embroidery details on the face. A stitch marker, a yarn needle, scissors, as well as the crochet hook. I'm using a 3.5 mm hook. You can also use anything from between 3 to 3.5 mm hook if you don't have this exact one. Before we start, if this is the first time you ever crochet or you're not familiar with any basic stitches or basic techniques, I highly recommend checking out my Amigurumi 101 playlist. I have a bunch of tutorials there, and the pace at which I'm teaching you is actually a lot slower in those playlists as well. So if you need to become familiar with certain type of stitches that will be required in this tutorial, that playlist would be very helpful. Okay, so first off, we're going to start with white color yarn because we want to make the head / the body. To start off with, we are going to make a new loop. In order to make a loop, you simply cross the yarn over and then hold that intersection piece and fold down the loop. So you'll see that the circle is on top of that piece of yarn. So now just simply put the hook under that piece of yarn in the middle. You're going to hold the 2 tails, the shorter one and then the longer one, using the other hand, and then pull through. You can kind of see that the loop is slightly big for the size of the hook that you have. So what you can do here is, let me take it out, put it this way. I like to hold on to the short end of the yarn and then just pull the long end of the yarn to make sure that the loop is smaller. If you have trouble making a new loop, again, please check out my Amigurumi 101 playlist. I have a tutorial there for all the stitches that we'll need in this tutorial. Now that we have a loop, let's chain 2. So put the yarn over hook and then just pull through that loop. Now we have 1 chain. Repeat 1 more time. So here are 2 chains. Next, you're going to be making 6 single crochet in the first chain. So it will be that one, since that's 1, and then this is the second chain. So simply push your hook into that first chain, yarn over hook, pull through. You'll see how now you have 2 loops right here. You're going to yarn over hook again, and this time pull through both loops, just like that. This is called a single crochet. Repeat the same process 5 more times. So that hole right there is the first chain where we want to push our hook in. Yarn over hook, pull through to make 2 loops. yarn over hook, and then pull through both loops to make a single crochet. Now we have 2 single crochet. We're going to make it 4 more times. So yarn over hook, pull through, yarn over hook, pull through both loops. Now push the hook through the middle, yarn over hook, pull through, yarn over hook, pull through both loops. Now in the middle, yarn over hook, pull through, yarn over hook, pull through both loops. Right now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Need one more, so push the hook through the middle, yarn over hook, pull through, yarn over hook, pull through both loops. Right now we have 6 stitches or 6 single crochet at the end of the first round. I will count for you. This is the first single crochet we made in this round, so that's 1, that's 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. For each round you're making, make sure to always count to make sure that you have the correct number of stitches at the end of each round. Right now I'm simply just gonna insert the stitch marker at the very last stitch of this round. The way I do this is, you see that pointy part? I'm just gonna insert it under the 2 loops right there and just rotate it a little bit so it's secure. A lot of people often ask me, oh, that's a big hole in the middle, how do we get rid of that? What I normally do is, on the back, you'll see that you'll have a short end of the yarn. Just hold your piece and then pull it tight. This will help reduce the size of the hole. However, if the hole is still big and you already pull it as much as you can, you might have to redo. Simple as that. It could be because your chain is too big of a size, so you might want to make a smaller chain and try again. Okay, now we are going to continue to the second round. In round 2, make 6 increases. What I mean by increases is simply make 2 single crochet in each of the stitch. So let's push our hook into that first stitch like that. Yarn over hook, pull through 2 loops, yarn over hook, pull through both loops. Now we just made 1 single crochet. We are going to make another single crochet in that same stitch. So push your hook into that first stitch again, yarn over hook, pull through, yarn over hook, pull through both loops. Here we have made 2 single crochet in the first stitch, and 2 single crochet makes up an increase. Let's repeat the same process for the rest of the stitches in this round. I'm going to push my hook into the second stitch, yarn over hook, pull through, yarn over hook, pull through both loops. That's 1 single crochet in the second stitch. Make 1 more single crochet in that second stitch so that this would count as an increase. So you can see now there's 2 single crochet in that second stitch. Simply repeat this for the rest of the round. So in the third stitch I made 1 single crochet, and then there it is, that's an increase. In the fourth stitch, that's 1 single crochet, and then there's another one, so it's become an increase. In the 5th stitch, there's 1 single crochet, and then 1 more, that's an increase. And on the last stitch, I'll have to take a stitch marker out because it's kind of blocking. Okay, in that last stitch, that's 1 single crochet, and then I'll make 1 more. So now that's an increase. Now that we're done with the second round, let's mark the end of the round. So I'm going to insert the stitch marker into the last stitch of this round. Now make sure to count the total number of stitches for this round to make sure that you have everything correct. So that should be a total stitches in total. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. For round 3, you're going to make 1 single crochet followed by an increase, and repeat that same sequence for a total of 6 times. Now let's start. Push your hook into that first stitch, yarn over hook, pull through, yarn over hook, pull through both loops. That's 1 single crochet. In the next stitch, let's make an increase. That's 1 single crochet. Let's make the second one in the same stitch. Now, as you can see here, we have 1 single crochet in the first stitch and then 2 single crochet in second stitch. So it's 1 single crochet and then increase. Okay, now that we got the sequence down, repeat 5 more times. Okay, in the third stitch, 1 single crochet. In the fourth stitch, make an increase. That's 1, that's 2. So you can see that this is 1 single crochet in the third stitch and then an increase in the fourth stitch. Now just repeat until we reach the end of the round. So 1 single crochet, 1, 2, so that's an increase. 1 single crochet, 1, 2, that's an increase. 1 single crochet, 1, 2, that's an increase. 1 single crochet, take out the stitch marker, 1, 2. The last stitch is an increase. Now that we are at the end of the round, again, just insert your stitch marker. At the end of this round, we should have a total of 18 stitches. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and then 18. In round 4, we're going to follow a similar sequence as round 3. Instead of 1 single crochet and then an increase, we're gonna make 2 single crochet followed by an increase. So in that first stitch, make a single crochet. That's one single crochet, and then in the next stitch also make a single crochet. Okay, so you can see that we have 2 single crochet, 1 in each stitch. In the third stitch, make an increase. This is 1 single crochet. Push the hook into the same stitch, make 1 more single crochet. So that's an increase. Let me show that again. So we have 1 single crochet in the first stitch, another single crochet in the second stitch, and then an increase in the third stitch. So for the next 3 stitches, we repeat the same sequence. Make 1 single crochet in the next stitch, also make 1 single crochet, and in that third stitch, or here actually is the 6th stitch, make an increase. So that's 1, and here's 2 single crochet in that 1 stitch. Now all we need is just repeat that same sequence until the end of the round. I'm going to count as I go, so 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, 1, 2, so that's an increase. 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, 1, 2, that's an increase. 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, 1, 2, that's an increase. Last time, 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, take out the stitch marker on the last stitch, 1, 2, that's an increase. Mark the end of round 4. At the end of this round, you should have a total of 24 stitches. I'm not gonna count, but you definitely should count to make sure that you have the right number of stitches before you move on. Okay, so for the next few rounds, all we're going to do is make 1 single crochet in every stitches of the round. Because right now we have a total of 24 stitches, we're going to make 24 single crochet, 1 in each stitch. I'm going to show you for this round. So this is 1 single crochet, there's another single crochet, another single crochet. So nothing special, don't need to make an increase or anything, just 1 single crochet, oops, 1 single crochet in each of the stitch until we reach the end of the round. And on the last stitch, pull out the stitch marker and make one single crochet there. Now that we're at the end of round 5, I'm gonna insert the stitch marker back to that last stitch. You can see that at the end of round 5, our piece starting to curve a little bit. If your piece is a lot more curved than mine, what you could always do is try to stretch out your piece a little bit to get it to be more flat if you need it to. But eventually it doesn't matter too much. Once you add in stuffing, you can reshape it at that time. So because the next few rounds we are just gonna make single crochet in each stitch and it's gonna be a repeat of round 5, I'm gonna go ahead and make the same thing as round 5 for a next couple of rounds, and then we'll come back to that. Alright, so here I'm at the end of round 9. Previously on round 5 we just single around, so I repeat the same thing for round 6, 7, 8 and 9. So you should have a total of 5 rounds that it's just, making one single crochet in each stitch around. As you can see, the piece should look kind of like a half circle, but not exactly since this part is kind of elongated. Now we're going to pause on crocheting. Okay, so next we're going to use these pins to mark the location of the eye. The eyes will be 6 stitches apart. So let me just push the pin in for now. The pin right now is between, let me see. So this is round 9, 8, 7, and then 6. So between row 5 and 6, that's where you want to have the pin inserted. And now we're going to count each hole away from the pin. So that next hole on the same row next to the pin, gonna count it as 1. Next hole is 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. Here's what I call 6 stitches apart. Let me make sure again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, because I want to have a little bit of the width or distance so that when we add a beak, there is enough space there. We'll be using the dark brown color yarn to embroider the eyes. Simply insert the tail into a needle. Like that is fine. So you're going to come here and try to insert the needle into that same location where the pin is. I'm going to go from the inside out. So once you get once you found the location, simply pull out the pins and then pull the needle out. Just like that is fine. And then you're going to count 1 and then 2. So we want the eyes to be 2 stitch tall. So on round 6 and round 7, that's where the eye are going to be at. So simply gonna insert the needle and start my embroidering. You can see that we made like a very thin eye. You just need to simply loop around the eye or wrap around the eye for a couple times. Let me do one more and see how thick the eye is right now. Okay, so 2 times is pretty good. I'm gonna go with that. And once you're done with one eye, I'm simply going to cut the tails. I'm going to give it some length so that I can tie a knot to secure it. And just make sure to do it somewhat tight so that the eye doesn't come loose later on. And once you already tie a knot, I'm gonna cut the tails shorter and everything gonna be hidden in the inside, so that's good. Now repeat the same process once more to make the right eye. So on row 6 and 7, that's where the eye is gonna be at. And then I'm gonna wrap around one more time. Alright, we are done. Just make a knot. And then tie another knot just in case. Trim the tails. And here we go, we got the 2 eyes. If you don't like the way how the eyes is too far apart, you can also make the eyes slightly closer. You know, everyone have their own, how do I say, favorites way to make things, so you can always try to customize your own. So for all of my animal characters, I also like to make like cheek blushes. So here we're going to make the cheek blushes like right next to the eyes with pink yarn. Again, go from inside out. We can just embroider a small pink, the blushes, just like that. I'm going to do it twice so you have some thickness there. Here. And then once you're done, simply tie a knot to secure, and you're going to make this on both sides. Okay, that's one side. Let's make another one next to the eye. Just gonna wrap around twice. Okay, now tie a knot. Alright, we got the other blush as well. Okay, now it's time to continue crocheting for round 10. Actually, let's make another round of just single crochet. So that's 1, that's 2, that's 3, and just repeat until you reach the end of the round. I'm simply gonna skip ahead and we'll come back at the end of round 10. Here I'm at the end of round 10. You should still have a total of 24 stitches since we didn't do any increases. And let's make round 11. In round 11, you're going to make 2 single crochet, 1 in each stitch, followed by a decrease. A decrease is simply you trying to crochet 2 stitches into 1. I'll show you in a bit, but let's start in the first stitch with a single crochet. So that's 1 single crochet in the first stitch, and then for the second stitch that's also gonna be a single crochet. On the third stitch, push your hook in, yarn over hook, pull through, and push your hook into the fourth stitch, yarn over hook, pull through. Notice how you now have 3 loops. You're going to yarn over hook and then pull through all 3 loops. This is a decrease because you make a single stitch by joining the 2 stitches together. Therefore, you're trying to reduce the number of stitches from 2 into 1. Okay, so the sequence that we are making right now is 2 single crochet, 1 in each, followed by 1 decrease. Another thing to note about is that when you make a decrease, I personally like to pull the yarn very tight to avoid any gap or hole showing, since a decrease stitch usually is slightly bigger than a normal single crochet, so that's what I like to do. Now let's continue. In the next stitch, 1 single crochet. In the stitch after, also 1 single crochet. And then in the next 2 stitches, let's make a decrease. So you can see that is 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, a decrease. We're simply going to repeat the same sequence for the rest of this round. 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, a decrease. One single crochet, 1 single crochet, a decrease. One single crochet, 1 single crochet, a decrease. One single crochet, 1 single crochet, take out the stitch marker, a decrease. And that is also the end of round 11. Let's insert the stitch marker at the end of the round. If you look at this hole right here, you will see that the hole start to shrink a little bit, and that is because we make the decreases. The decrease stitch, simply reduce the number of stitches in the total round. So in this round, instead of 24 stitches, we have a total of 18 stitches. Since round 10 we have 24, and then in round 11 we made 6 decreases in total. 24 minus 6 is 18. So if you count round 11, you should have 18 stitches in total. Now let's continue round 12. The sequence is going to be very similar to round 11. Make 1 single crochet followed by a decrease. So that's 1 single crochet and then a decrease. And then simply repeat the same thing until you reach the end of the round. 1 single crochet, decrease, 1 single crochet, decrease, 1 single crochet, decrease, 1 single crochet, decrease, and then one more time. 1 single crochet, take out the stitch marker, that's a decrease, and then mark the end of this round. Next up, we are going to add some stuffing. So grab a little bit of stuffing that you have. Just pull out a little bit at a time. And simply use your finger to push in the stuffing inside. You can also use a crochet hook to push in, especially if you have like a rubber handle. That works as well. The way I normally add my stuffing is I like to stuff around the edges first, and then just trying to push the stuffing to the edges, leaving the middle part kind of hollow, and then go from there. Just repeat until you feel like your plush is solid. When you add stuffing, there's no need to hurry. You can just take your time, make sure that the stuffing is evenly spread out through your piece. And this is also a chance to kind of shape your piece as well. And what I mean by shaping the piece is just simply use my hand to kind of applying some pressure on the piece to make sure that even though it looked, I guess, almost an egg, I want to make sure it's kind of even all around. Alright. Once you're done stuffing, we still have one more round to make. Alright, round 13 is super simple. All we're going to do is make decrease 6 times. So since we already put some stuffing, it might get in between when you're trying to crochet. What I also like to do is I'm going to use my middle finger to just push down and prevent the stuffing to get in between the next few stitches that I'm gonna crochet. So now let's make a decrease. Alright, that's one decrease. That's the second decrease. That's a third decrease. That's a fourth decrease. That's a fifth decrease. Take out the stitch marker. Oopsie. Now that's the sixth decrease. Alright. Next step is to cut the tails. Leave some length, okay, because we need to sew the bottom close. And you can just pull like this. This is called finish off. Others call it fasten off. Here we still have a tiny hole at the end of this round. I'm gonna put in the rest of the stitch. If you use a scissor to push it in, I actually don't recommend it because if you've never done it before, it's kind of dangerous and you might accidentally cut your piece. If you have a tweezer, that is helpful as well. And same thing again, you can also use the handle of your hook. Alright. Next step is going to close this hole. In order to do that, let's grab a yarn needle and insert the tail into a needle. So in the stitch next to where you finish off, let's insert in the needle and then go out. You can see how it's going through one hole, out the other hole, right? And then let's pull through. Now same thing, into the next hole, out the next hole. So in and then out like that, and then pull through, in, out, pull through, and then in, out, pull through. I only pull through very gentle right now, but what I'm going to do now is pull this yarn very tightly, and you can see that the hole starts to close. Alright, next step is to hide this tail. I'm simply gonna insert the needle and then pull the tail somewhere else and kind of repeat the same process a couple of times to make sure that the tail will not come out loose, right? You want to secure it. Alright, this is enough. You can simply cut the tail. You see how there's like a tiny piece sticking out? You're simply gonna hide it inside the piece. And there we go, we have the head or the body combined, done. Let's make a beak. We're going to use the gold color yarn. Simply make a new loop. Again, cross the yarn over and fold it down. Grab the hook and pull into a loop. Now let's make the loop a little bit smaller by pulling the long end. Make 3 chains. So yarn over hook, pull through, yarn over hook, pull through, yarn over hook, pull through. You can see that we have 1 chain, 2, and then 3. In the middle chain and also the first chain, we're going to make something called half double crochet. To make half double crochet, you're going to yarn over hook like that. Insert the hook into that middle chain, yarn over hook, and then pull through. See how you have 3 loops? Yarn over hook again and then pull through all of the loops. That's half double crochet. Repeat one more time with that first chain. So wrap around the yarn, push the hook through the first chain, yarn over hook, and then pull through. That's 3 loops. Yarn over hook and then pull through 3 loops like that. And in that first chain again, let's push in the hook. We want to make a slip stitch. In order to do that, you yarn over hook, pull through. Notice how you have 2 loops. You don't need to yarn over hook again, but you simply just pull the first loop into the second loop. Alright, that is a slip stitch. Now you can just finish off. So leave some length. Cut off that tail and then pull out your hook. So you can see that we have a beak. You're going to sew this piece to the face. Alright, let's grab a yarn needle. Insert in one of the tail. I'm trying to think where I should best position this beak, whether it's over here or over there. I usually like it kind of tall, kind of high, so I'm gonna keep it, it's gonna be this round, like right above the eye. So alright, gonna sew it over here. Yeah, so there's no one way to sew this beak, but as long as you can make it like pointing out, right? I think that's good enough. Could also push it up a little bit. I think it's look kind of cute. And when you're trying to secure the sewing, just make sure that the tails all come out through the same hole so that you can tie a knot again. So I usually tie 2 knots before I cut or trim the tail. And what you want to do is try to hide this knot inside the piece if you can. It's gonna be slightly hard, but just do your best. Alright, so now you can't even see it. Next, let's embroider the feet details. I think it's going to look best if the feet is around like right here. So basically from the lower part of the eye, count down 3 rounds. So 1, 2, 3. And I just want my feet to be right there. I'm going to mark it with the pin for now, so I remember where the feet will go. Do the same for the other side as well. So now we can use the gold color again and embroider the feet. I think just make a line like that would be good. Same way as how we would embroider the eyes. Just need to wrap around a few more times. Maybe once more. Maybe one more. And once you're done with the other feet, we can just continue with the next one. Alright, I really like the width of this, so it's good. Same thing on this side. I'm wrapping around this a total of 4 times since I'm happy with the width that way. Alright, that looks real good. Let's trim the tail a little bit and tie a knot or two here. Hide that tail inside the body. Okay, great. Now we have the feet. So tiny, it's so cute. Alright, we are almost done. Last details would be to make the wings. So in order to do that, let's use the white yarn. Now make a new loop. And chain 3. So yarn over hook, pull through, yarn over hook, pull through, yarn over hook, pull through. Alright, and then in the middle chain you're going to make 1 single crochet. That's 1 single crochet, and in the first chain you're going to make 1 half double crochet and a slip stitch. So yarn over hook, push the hook into the first chain, yarn over hook, and then pull through, yarn over hook, and pull through all 3 loops. Now push the hook again into that first chain, yarn over hook, pull through, and simply pull the first loop into the second loop. So this is a slip stitch, and now you can just finish off with a long tail. So this is a very tiny wing. Make 1 more for the other wing. So we simply going to sew the wing right here. The top edge of the wing is going to be on the same round as where the cheek blushes are at. Now grab a needle and insert the tail into that. Just start sewing the wing. Going to insert the tail, another tail into the needle. Oopsie. Sometimes the yarn, I think this is called fray, right? It's split out. So having a big eye pin is very helpful because it's easier to insert the tail into the needle that way. And when you sew the wing, alright, you can see that this part is almost straight, and then that part on the bottom is curvy, so I like it that way. So I'm gonna keep it like there. And for security, I'm also gonna grab a piece on the wing and then sew it to the body so it doesn't come out easily. Alright, I think this will do. You still can see the wing piece, and it's pretty secure onto the body. Let's tie the tails there. Again, trim the tails and hide it inside of the head. Okay, you just did one wing, sew the other one on. The process is gonna be very similar. Here is the finished looks. The duck is so tiny on my hand. It's simply the same size as the other tutorial where I made the ducky in blanket yarn. However, a lot of you requested that I make a tutorial using a regular acrylic yarn because sometimes blanket yarn or chunky yarn can be hard to find in another country. And there it is. I hope you like it, and if you like this tutorial, please like and subscribe to my channel. That would be very helpful, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.